morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, yesterday didn't turn out the way we had anticipated.
No.
What happened?
Well, we got about 50 some miles down the road and trying to beat these storms to get to our Waltman rest stop, and we lost that battle. Some buggers caught up with us, and there's lightning, all kinds of craziness, and
there was a storm to the north and a storm to the south, and they converged right on the highway where we were going to go right through. But today we're in Casper, starting from Casper, heading to Douglas.
Yep.
But first, breakfast.
Yes, breakfast. Very important.
Got to feed the riders.
Yep.
So we're off to breakfast. We'll catch up with you later. Have a great day. Be blessed.
So about 56 and a half miles, pretty much downhill. I mean, we had 1,500 feet of elevation gain, but it's not bad at all. But I tell you what, breakfast was amazing. We ate at Eggington's downtown Casper. Was just two thumbs up.
Big time.
It was amazing. And then from there, we kind of rode out of town, and then beautiful scenery.
Beautiful. Wyoming's beautiful.
Wyoming's just spectacular. Gorgeous. And we were watching storms. I remember that we were watching storms.
Yeah, we were watching
way off to our south.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to come near us.
No.
But we were definitely kept our eyes on that, because that part of the world you just have to.
Right. And after what we dealt with at that rest stop, we were kind of spooked a little bit. So we were looking around a lot.
Yeah. 35 miles down the road, we jumped on the interstate.
That's right.
And Wyoming's one of those states that you can actually ride on the interstate. And it's probably, in some ways, safer than some of the two lanes. I mean, Wyoming is not much traffic anyway. But
right, but the shoulders are wide.
Super
They're like
wide.
another lane plus.
Super wide.
And you know, the thing is also on the interstates, the hills are bad because they're more gradual. And,
I think the maximum an interstate can be is 7%. I think that's by law.
Okay.
And so, you know, we never hit a 7% hill.
No. And it's always nice to have that big shoulder.
Big shoulder. And so we even had semi-trucks honking at us, and like, you know, in a good way.
It was like, we were waving to them and stuff. Yeah. They were very nice.
And that's the only thing we did. We waved to everybody that came past us.
Yep.
Just because we wanted to be the friendly bikers.
Exactly.
And there's some people that are, you know, cycling that aren't so friendly, and we wanted to be the friendly cyclers.
Exactly.
So we waved to everybody. We got, you know, waves back and honks back, and that was always fun.
Honks before we even waved.
Honks,
it was really cool.
And not angry honks like we did
you know,
a few days ago.
Exactly. We saw a couple of them, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a nice, pleasant ride all the way down to Douglas, Wyoming.
Yep.
And Douglas, we kind of came in off the long ramp.
Yeah.
And into town, and we stayed at the hotel right there off the highway, and had dinner at an Indian restaurant. It was very strange.
It was. We didn't know what kind of restaurant it was at first.
It was a strange building.
Yes.
But we discovered it was an Indian restaurant. What used to be like a Western bar.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of too. Yeah,
it had a Western bar theme, but they served Indian food.
Right. The place was huge.
It was massive.
It was huge,
but it was really good.
It was good curry. We had some curry, chicken curry. It was really good.
It was great. So that was day 25.
Good morning, world.
Good morning
from Douglas,
Wyoming. Yep,
Douglas, Wyoming. Had a comfortable evening here. We got here yesterday afternoon about 1:15, so we made great time yesterday.
Real good time.
And didn't get into the weather, so that was nice. Saw the weather around us, but today we're getting started early. It's about 7 o'clock here in the morning. Today is day 26.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't. The picture you posted with us almost all the way across Wyoming is shocking.
Day 26.
June 9th. It was day 26 from Douglas to Guernsey in Wyoming, and it was about a 68-mile day. not too bad elevation. It was about even.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
1,900 feet elevation up, but 2,400 feet down.
So that's a good day.
And the cool thing is, along that stretch of I-25, there's a lot of frontage roads.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of this trip. It was 68 miles. We did a lot of it on frontage road.
And it was cool. We were singing like a bunch of high school kids, singing some old tunes and stuff, laughing like goof-offs. We actually had a rest stop. Remember the Black Widow spider I took a picture
Yes.
of in the rest stop?
Yes.
And then
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was sections of roads on that frontage roads that the train tracks were like running right down along the side of and we followed it from, we'd follow trains and they'd come by and blow the horn and stuff. It was really a lot of fun.
It was really cool. It was, then we stopped at a rest area. We stopped at 2 rest areas.
Yeah.
Stopped at the first one there.
Right.
Where we kind of rehydrated and all that. And we saw the Black Widow spider.
Right, exactly.
But then we got off the highway. There was a big rest area that took us onto the 2-lane, and we kind of rehydrated there.
Right.
And we were keeping our eye on the storm behind us.
Yeah.
And then I think, if I remember right, we had a headwind going down toward the city of Guernsey.
Okay.
But it was pretty flat. And then the last 4 or 5 miles was all downhill to the river.
Yeah. And I mean, the hotel was on the other side of the river.
Yeah, it was just...
You pedaled across the bridge and you were there.
It was just amazing.
It was.
And it was a really small town, middle of Wyoming, middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
Yeah.
But they had Ben's Bar.
That's true. Ben's
And we
Bar.
had the hike 13 blocks or so.
It was quite a hike. But,
Yeah. But we walked over to Ben's Bar, had some, I forget what we ate.
I had meatloaf.
You had meatloaf.
I had meatloaf. I remember that.
I
had meatloaf. And we looked up at the sky too. Remember the
the clouds were just like
puffy cotton clouds, like cotton balls hanging down. It was crazy.
And they also had cottonwood trees along the river.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the wind was blow the cottonwood seeds everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And
That
that was
looked like it was snowing, kind of.
yeah,
it was neat.
it was an interesting town. That was Guernsey, Wyoming.
Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday,
Yes.
day number 27.
Yes.
Can you believe it? Day number 27 on the Coast to Coast Bike and Film Tour. We are in Guernsey, Wyoming. Today we're heading to...
Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
John, have you ever been to Scottsbluff?
Never.
Well, you're in for a treat because Scottsbluff is amazing. I love the place. I love the bluff. Have some people there that are amazing. We're able to see some friends.
All right, it's June 10th, day number 27.
Wow, 27.
And this is a momentous day
Yes.
because we are going from Guernsey, Wyoming, and crossing a new state line into Nebraska.
We usually did dances, but we kind of stopped it after a while.
We did it there, so we'll show you
Okay,
this.
okay.
So it was a big day, 68 miles
Yeah, it was a
from
long road.
Guernsey to Scottsbluff, but flat. I mean, relatively flat, and mostly it was more downhill than it was uphill, but it was super, super flat. It was kind of like western Nebraska,
Yeah.
you know. It was
Not a
all
whole
kind
lot.
of just flat farmland,
Right.
that kind of thing. We did stop a few times along the way, including in the little town of Torrington, Wyoming, where we stopped at the local park, had lunch, and then we stopped at the volunteer fire department, where we tried to connect with some people, but there was no one there. And so we kept on riding towards Scottsbluff, our destination for the day. We got to Nebraska line.
Yep.
And did our little happy dance.
Yes, we did. Did a little happy dance.
Happy dance. And then Nebraska, my dear friends,
Yeah.
the side of the road in Nebraska wasn't that good.
No, it was not. Boom, boom, boom.
Lots of bumps.
Yeah.
And I ended up about 10 miles from our destination. I ended up getting a broken spoke. And so we pulled off into a gas station, and I took the wheel off. And as I was putting a new spoke in, all of a sudden I hear this. Probably said a few words that I shouldn't say. And so I punctured a tube. So I replaced the tube. Fortunately, we had him with us. We replaced the tube, replaced the spoke, and but that set us back about an hour.
Yeah.
And so we rode another 10 miles into Scottsbluff, stayed with our dear friends Al and Cher. Maybe they're amazing people.
They are incredible. They're
Just fantastic. We'll talk more about them because we're coming into a rest day.
That's right. That's right.
Our next rest day, and we have a film screening in Scottsbluff. So we'll talk about that in the next episode. And there's a lot to talk about in the next episode with the consequences of this particular flat tire
True.
and where that led us.
Right.
So I'm going to leave a little teaser.
Yes.
Be sure to come back and watch episode 8 because we're going to talk about why the flat tire coming into Nebraska was important. I didn't think it was, but then we discovered it was. And sometimes life, we have experiences that we don't understand why they happen until we look back at the situation, and then we see more clearly. We see more clearly why things happen. And sometimes we still don't know all of the answers, but this was one of those moments where this frustrating flat tire or punctured tube, was very frustrating to me. But it was a few days later when I kind of discovered the why behind that, and we'll talk about that next episode. So be sure to tune in. Well, John, we're in Nebraska.
Okay, cool. That was quick.
That was quick.
Not on the trip, but it seems quick now.
Yeah, so next episode, it's our journey from Scottsbluff to Omaha.
Yes.
We'll talk about that then.